Who among us hasn't felt the weight of life's unpredictable storms? We've all experienced moments when our emotions seem to spiral out of control, like a fragile vessel caught in turbulent waters. But what if I told you there's an ancient wisdom, a timeless strategy that can anchor your mind and steady your course even in the fiercest tempests? This isn't merely about enduring life's challenges. It's about mastering them, emerging stronger, calmer, and more resilient than ever before. Today, we're unlocking the essence of Stoic philosophy, exploring insights so profound they have the power to reshape not only how you think, but also how you live each day with purpose and clarity. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll discover how to command your thoughts and actions to craft the life you've always envisioned, no matter the obstacles in your path. If these ideas resonate with you, take one simple step. Hit that subscribe button and commit to absorbing every word of this journey. If you're drawn to Stoic wisdom, you already stand apart. You're someone who refuses to settle for mediocrity, ready to challenge the status quo and forge a life of extraordinary meaning. 1. Master what you can control. At first glance, this principle might appear straightforward, almost too simple, but its depth is transformative. The Stoics weren't just teaching us to distinguish between what's within our control and what isn't. They were urging us to focus our mental energy where it truly matters. Every day, we're bombarded by external noise, headlines, opinions, and events that pull at our emotions like riptides. Yet the Stoics remind us that true power lies in directing our attention inward, to our actions, responses, and choices. For instance, while you can't stop the rain from falling, you can decide whether to carry an umbrella. While you can't dictate another person's thoughts or words, you can choose how you react to them. Why waste precious energy fretting over things beyond your influence? Picture trying to steer a ship by flapping your arms at the wind. It's futile. Instead, grip the rudder firmly and guide your course through deliberate action. When you shift your focus to what you can control, you reclaim agency over your life. This proactive mindset doesn't just solve problems more effectively. It cultivates inner peace, replacing chaos with calm. By embracing this truth, you begin to build a life defined not by external turbulence, but by the serenity you create within yourself. 2. Reframe your reality. Here's a revolutionary idea. Your perception shapes your reality. The Stoics taught that it's not the events themselves that disturb us. It's the stories we tell ourselves about them. In other words, your emotional response isn't triggered by the event itself, but by the meaning you assign to it. A situation remains neutral until you interpret it, and that interpretation holds immense power. Consider being stuck in traffic. To some, it's a frustrating delay. To others, it's an opportunity to enjoy a favorite song or podcast. The circumstances haven't changed, yet the experience transforms entirely based on perspective. This realization is profoundly liberating because it places the reins of your emotional well-being squarely in your hands. By consciously reframing your thoughts, you rewrite your emotional narrative. Obstacles become opportunities, setbacks morph into stepping stones, and frustrations evolve into lessons. It's akin to adjusting the lens through which you view the world. Each shift reveals new possibilities. This practice doesn't just help you survive adversity. It empowers you to thrive, turning every challenge into fuel for growth and resilience. 3. Embrace voluntary discomfort. Now, here's a concept that might initially raise eyebrows. Why would anyone willingly choose discomfort? Yet this practice stands as one of the most potent tools in the Stoic arsenal. Voluntary discomfort isn't about seeking suffering for its own sake. It's about strengthening your resilience and independence from external comforts. By occasionally exposing yourself to minor hardships, whether it's taking cold showers, fasting for a meal, or sleeping on a hard surface, You prepare yourself for the inevitable trials life will throw your way. Think of it as training for a marathon. If you condition your body and mind to endure small doses of discomfort, you'll be far better equipped to face larger challenges, a sudden job loss, an unexpected move, or even something as mundane as a broken air conditioner during a heat wave. Each act of voluntary discomfort builds mental fortitude, teaching you that happiness doesn't depend on external conditions, but on your ability to adapt and persevere. It's a reminder that comfort is fleeting, but resilience is enduring. By embracing this practice, you cultivate a strength that allows you to navigate life's storms with unshakable confidence. By deliberately conditioning your mind and body to embrace discomfort, you prepare yourself to remain composed and resourceful when life's inevitable storms hit. This ancient Stoic practice is not merely about enduring hardship. It's about cultivating resilience so profound that unpredictability becomes an opportunity rather than a threat. At its core are three transformative principles: mastering what lies within your control, harnessing the immense power of your perceptions, and willingly stepping into discomfort as a form of self-discipline. These ideas aren't just tools for survival. They're catalysts for growth, enabling you to alchemize challenges into stepping stones toward greatness. When applied with intention, this timeless wisdom allows you to sculpt your life from the inside out, building an unshakable foundation of strength, serenity, and purpose that no external force can erode. If these words resonate with you, pause for a moment and ask yourself, how much of your existence is dictated by forces outside your influence? What steps can you take today to reclaim authority over your inner world? Remember, Stoicism doesn't promise freedom from life's trials. It equips you to master how you respond to them. Let the tempests rage, but stand firm at the helm. When adversity strikes, it's human nature to recoil, panic, or allow ourselves to be swept away by the tide. But what if we chose instead to meet discomfort head-on, even seek it out? By doing so, we recalibrate our threshold for ease, shifting from avoidance to acceptance, and ultimately transforming discomfort into a vehicle for growth. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable begin to feel manageable, even empowering. This isn't just physical endurance, it's mental fortitude in action. Whether through fasting, pushing past physical limits, or engaging in difficult conversations, each act of voluntary discomfort strengthens your ability to stay grounded amidst chaos. You're not merely proving you can endure, you're learning to thrive. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, where comfort is often one click away, choosing discomfort becomes an act of rebellion. It sharpens your discernment between true needs and fleeting desires, teaching simplicity and gratitude. Discomfort reminds us that fulfillment doesn't lie in indulgence, but in appreciating the small blessings we often overlook: a warm meal, a quiet moment, or a restful night's sleep. And when we return to comfort after testing our limits, we do so with renewed appreciation for what we have. Voluntary discomfort doesn't just steel you against future hardships. It deepens your capacity to cherish the present. So, the next time you're tempted to avoid discomfort, consider what lessons might await on the other side. It's not about courting pain. It's about becoming unbreakable in the face of life's inevitable turbulence. Now, let's turn to another cornerstone of navigating life with grace: understanding that everyone operates through their own lens. This insight is deceptively simple, yet profoundly liberating. Every person you encounter acts based on their unique blend of beliefs, experiences, and biases. That driver who cut you off? Perhaps they're rushing to an emergency. The colleague who snapped at you? Maybe they're carrying burdens invisible to you. Instead of reacting impulsively, Stoicism invites us to pause and reflect. What unseen forces shape their behavior? This perspective fosters empathy and patience elevating emotional intelligence. Rather than taking offense, we learn to see others as complex beings shaped by circumstances beyond our view. This shift transforms interactions, freeing us from unnecessary conflict and preserving our inner peace. Imagine the calm and clarity you'd experience if you stopped personalizing every slight or frustration. Instead of reacting defensively, you could approach situations with understanding and poise. In practicing this principle, you unlock a more harmonious way of moving through the world. One defined by compassion, insight, and unwavering tranquility. Rather than reacting impulsively, you can choose to respond with the best version of yourself, constructing bridges of understanding rather than fortifying walls of division. This approach not only deepens your relationships, but also expands your perspective on the human experience. It's about acknowledging that each of us views the world through a unique lens. When you release judgment and embrace empathy, you nurture a life rich in compassion and connection. Let's prioritize reflection over reaction. This principle revolves around creating space between what happens to us and how we respond. Often, when something triggers us, a biting comment or a heated disagreement, our instinct is to react immediately. But reacting without thought only intensifies the situation, breeding regret and misunderstanding. Stoicism teaches us to step back, breathe, and reflect. Why do we feel provoked? Is it truly about the other person's words, or are they tapping into an old wound or insecurity within us? By examining our emotions, we carve out a pause before responding impulsively. This pause empowers us to act with intention, choosing responses aligned with our values rather than being driven by fleeting emotions. Mastering this mental discipline can transform your life, liberating you from the grip of knee-jerk reactions and fostering emotional intelligence. Over time, it strengthens your character and equips you to navigate challenging conversations and relationships with grace. When you reflect instead of react, you don't merely sidestep conflict. You cultivate inner peace that enables you to face life with calmness and clarity. So, the next time you're tempted to lash out, take a moment. Use that pause to reflect and respond from a place of wisdom and understanding. In doing so, you'll revolutionize how you interact with the world, leading to more peaceful, deliberate, and meaningful exchanges. One of the most profound Stoic teachings is the concept that self-sufficiency represents the pinnacle of freedom. In a society where happiness often hinges on external factors, wealth, status, relationships, Stoicism reminds us that true independence lies within. Real freedom doesn't stem from what we possess. It emerges from what we can live without. Self-sufficiency, as the Stoics envisioned it, isn't about isolating yourself or abandoning modern conveniences. Instead, it's about cultivating inner resilience and self-reliance. It's finding contentment not in material possessions, but in the richness of internal virtues, wisdom, courage, and self-discipline. Imagine the liberation of living without depending on material wealth, others' approval, or perfect health for happiness. What if you didn't crave the newest gadget, the flashiest car, or constant validation to feel fulfilled? Self-sufficiency teaches us that happiness begins and ends within ourselves. By nurturing qualities like resilience, wisdom, and emotional control, we establish a foundation for well-being that no external force can easily destabilize. Beyond personal happiness, embracing self-sufficiency simplifies life. You shed unnecessary dependencies that clutter both your physical environment and your mind. You begin asking yourself, what do I truly need to be happy? The answer becomes clearer as you focus on cultivating what matters most, your inner strength and virtue. More often than not, the solution is far simpler than it initially appears. This simplicity transcends material possessions. It extends to emotional independence as well. When you stop depending on others to fulfill your needs or bring you happiness, your relationships deepen and become more genuine. You're able to give freely without strings attached because you no longer approach life from a place of lack but from one of abundance. In doing so, you become a pillar of strength for those around you, empowering them through your unwavering self-reliance. Self-sufficiency isn't about isolation, it's about liberation. It's about tapping into your inner reservoir of strength, allowing you to navigate life with clarity and serenity. The more you lean on your internal resources, the freer you are to love unconditionally, give generously, and live fully. Another transformative Stoic principle is amor fati, the love of fate. This philosophy invites us not merely to accept life as it unfolds, but to embrace every moment, whether perceived as favorable or unfavorable, with enthusiasm and gratitude. It's not resignation or passive endurance. Rather, it's an active recognition that every experience, no matter how challenging, contributes to our growth. Reflect on this. Every obstacle, setback, and encounter carries a lesson. By practicing amor fati, we cease resisting life's natural rhythm. Instead of expending energy wishing circumstances were different, we immerse ourselves in the present, trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This mindset doesn't glorify suffering or invite hardship, it reframes it. When we embrace fate, we release regret and resentment over things beyond our control. We begin to see each experience, no matter how painful, as an opportunity for transformation. Nothing is wasted, not even the darkest moments. Every struggle, person, and challenge shapes the individual we're becoming. Picture yourself moving through life with this perspective. Rather than being swept away by the unpredictable currents of fate, you ride them with poise and purpose. Each twist and turn becomes a chapter in your evolution, and you meet life's highs and lows with equanimity, knowing that every challenge serves your development. Amor fati diminishes regret because it teaches us that everything happens for a reason, even if that reason remains hidden at first. Instead of clinging to what might have been, we focus on learning and growing from every experience. By accepting and even cherishing the events of our lives, we cultivate profound peace and joy. This outlook is profoundly freeing, as it removes the fear of failure and misfortune. You come to trust that even the toughest moments are threads in the tapestry of your growth, woven into a design meant for your highest good. With this mindset, you shed the weight of past mistakes and the dread of future trials. Instead, you stride forward with unshakable confidence, knowing that every triumph, hardship, and lesson propels you toward wisdom, fulfillment, and serenity. By integrating these Stoic principles, self-sufficiency, and the acceptance of fate, you forge resilience while unlocking unparalleled freedom and inner peace. Life shifts from being defined by external events to being shaped by how you respond to them. By aligning yourself with the flow of existence, you transform every moment into an opportunity for growth, mastery, and personal evolution.